Hey, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to build timeline reports in ServiceNow. And I did that because recently there was a situation where we launched a new feature, and I was very simply interested in how many people are using that every day. And one way to do that was to just see how many people are creating that record every week. And so I created the timeline report for this, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So you go to reports, and then here you go to the report module and click on create new. Let's say this is monthly stories created every month, and the story table is RM story. So what this does is it will allow you to visualize based on some sort of a timeline parameter how many records are created, closed, assigned in a month, week, and so forth. So you come here and you can select the time series. Now I suggest that you start with the column one. This is going to be the simplest view, and so it will not be confusing to you what's happening. So you select the column, and immediately you see there's like a block getting created. So right now it just somehow takes activity due, which is probably the first column in alphabetical order that it can trend by. So this is important. The trend by, this is the thing that will take your report and break it into the time series. So let's say now I'm interested in how many stories are created per month. So that means I want to see the trend on the created date. So I select the created field here, and let's run this and see what happens. So okay, this is what it's creating. It is showing me the stories that are created every month or every year right now. And so I know now that the report is correct, it's on the correct field, and I don't want it per year, I want it per month. So let me just select per month here and run it. So here you see very simply, this is what it did. It says that in July you created 126, in August 2, and so on and so forth. Now, when I first did this, I did it incorrectly, and somehow in my head I always started going to the group by field, and I did not create the report on the timeline, on like the timeline category, which is very important to do. So you select the timeline, then you trend by created, and then you can further group by. So I suggest you do these things first, and then if you want to say, okay, this is, I see that these are the people, these many stories were created, but then who created them? So you could then group it by assigned to, and this is what this will now group by, which will show you the breakup of, okay, in July, cat created or got assigned 46 stories, dog the dog 6, and so this is now the breakup. And so these are some important things to keep in mind. Now this is very simple, this is all you need to know, and you can like stop the video, but I want to show you the mistake that I made and also others could make while making this report. So what I first did is, let's just go back. What I first did was I thought that, okay, I need to create a report on stories created every month. So in my head I was like, okay, so that means I need a bar. I came here, and then I started grouping it by to, let's say, created date, and I was a little bit confused as to why this was not working, because now here also you see a timeline, right? It's showing greater than 2 months, 1 to 2 months, 2 to 4 weeks. So I thought, okay, there is something here that I can modify so that the time period changes. That's not the case. You can't do much with this, and anyway, this is not the correct way to do it. But maybe just because like mentally you're seeing the bar graph in your head that, okay, this is the report that I want to see. And also when you first group it by on the created, it just does show you some timeline type parameter, so it feels like you are on the right track, whereas you are not. So that's why I say that if you are trying to create anything which is on, like how many incidents were closed in a month, or how many stories were created in a month, how many releases were deployed in a quarter, you always need to go to the time series. And then there are various different ways to visualize these reports. You can do like area, or you can do the bar, which I thought was simple, the line. And with these reports, I think the simpler you keep it, the better it is. So far, I've after experimenting with a few options, I like the bar, and here now we are actually using the timeline series. So you can say that give it to me in the calendar and per month. I should remove the group by here because we don't actually need to group by anymore since we are using the timeline series. So this is how you create a timeline report in ServiceNow. It's very simple, very straightforward. You do need to have a date field, but once you have that, then that's all you need, and this is very simple to do. So please let me know if you have any questions or comments, any challenges that you're seeing, and I'll try to answer them. All right, thanks everyone.